Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Vain Sharoda and welcome to the Economics class. So today in this lecture we will be continuing our Unit 4, Part 4, that are the components of government budget that we were studying in the previous lecture. So in the previous lecture we have just completed revenue receipts and capital receipts. So receipts column has been completed and now we are jumping up onto the next column, next segment, that is expenditure now. So there's a question from my side to all of you watching this video, that is, what are expenditure? क्या होते हैं ये expenditure? क्या होते हैं ये खर्चे? अब आपके हिसाब से क्या होता है? सोचिए। आपका कहना होगा खर्चा मतलब क्या है? दुकान पे जाओ, पैसा दे दो, सामान लेके आ जाओ. This is all about expenditure, right? Is that only so? क्या ये इतने तक ही limited है? या there is something else also? सोचो सोचो जल्दी सोचो, because अगर आप सोचेंगे तो आपको क्या होगा कि आज का लेक्चर अभी याद हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So let's come to the answer that I've asked you. कि सिर्फ पैसे देना, सामान देगा दुकानदार. Is it all about expenditure? No. This is only the starting point. या फिर मैं कह सकता हूँ execution point भी. ये expenditure अगर मैं बोलूँ कैसे होता है, तो ऐसे होता है जी कि पैसे दे रहे हो तो सामान ले रहे हो. But if in detail we will go into this word में बड़ी सारी चीजें आती हैं. अब आप पैसे दे रहे हो, अब आप कुछ ले रहे हो, तो इट मीन्स लाइक यू आर गेटिंग समथिंग इन रिटर्न ऑफ द मनी दैट यू आर स्पेंडिंग. So it means there is a creation of asset. It means you are getting something, you are having something more, it is adding to your wealth, it is adding either to your assets, right? Expenditure is basically it is an activity which leads to creation of asset. If in journal sense we will take, I'm not going into the budgetary portion right now, but in the journal sense, expenditure also includes the creation of asset. और सोचते थोड़ा दिमाग लगाते हैं इस पे, क्या लगता है और एक्सपेंडिचर में क्या हो, क्या लगता है? तो एक्सपेंडिचर में हम कह सकते हैं कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल if Ram is your friend and you have taken a loan of 50,000 from him and now you are paying him back with the interest rate. So here it says that the liability of Ram that is on your heads, like the burden you are having on your accounts, or either can say, yeah, on your side, to pay 50,000 on that particular loan amount to Ram back, has been cleared out because you have paid, right? So here in this particular case, you have just reduced your liability. If I say, so it causes reduction of liability as well. So we have just gone into two aspects. One is the creation of asset and other is the reduction of liability. So हमको इसी में ही घूमना है, इस expenditure column में ही. So if I go and say what is our budget expenditure, so these are the estimated expenditure amount because we don't know how much money we can expend or how much money we can spend in that particular point of time or in the upcoming year. Because we are having the estimates only, we are not having the exact amount of how much money we can spend, we are spending, we have decided to spend. We don't know the exact figure because environment and future is uncertain. Uncertainty can hit and uncertainty can lead to huge expenditure as well. So if you're not having total exact amount, in that particular case, we have to just calculate the estimates. So expenditure are divided into two parts, are the same as receipts are revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. So what are revenue expenditure? So revenue expenditure is basically those kind of expenditure which neither creates your asset nor reduces the liability of its source. So revenue expenditure is a kind of expenditure which is not creating your asset and not reducing your liability. And now the question arises from your side is, in the starting of the video, you just said expenditure have two aspects, either the creation of asset, either the reduction of liability. And now you are saying that this particular category of expenditure neither creates your assets and nor reduces the liability. How it is possible? Dude, guys, this category includes those expenditure which is that expenditure which is routine in nature, first thing, because it is revenue, which is routine in nature, and which are those kind of expenditure in which none of your assets are being created and none of your liability has been reduced. Let me take a hypothetical example that you are paying salary to your employees. Is any asset creating? Is there any asset creating? No. Is there any liability that is reducing of yours? No. Because if you're paying salary to your employee, it means that you are taking services from them. So there's no liability and there's no asset out of it. It is a deal between both of you that they have to give their services to your organization and you are taking the amount against the services, right? Provided. If I'll say development of Delhi Metro. Delhi Metro, is it a revenue expenditure according to you? Is it creating asset? Yes, it is creating asset because development of Delhi Metro, it means you're developing trains, you're developing railway lines, you're developing platforms, you're doing various infrastructure around it, right? So it means that it is creating your asset. If it is creating your asset, it means it is not considered as a revenue expenditure. Clear? Everything is clear till of now? Perfect. Let's move to the next one. Capital expenditure. What is capital expenditure? Capital expenditure is basically that kind of expenditure which either creates your asset or causes reduction in liability. देखो या तो वो asset create करेगा या तो वो liability create करेगा. कुछ तो create करेगा जैसे. ठीक है? वैसे बैठा नहीं रहेगा capital expenditure. वो कहता है कि मैं आऊँ भी कम कम, एक तो मैं हूँ भी नॉन रिकरिंग, कभी कभी आऊँ, फिर भी मैं कुछ ना करूँ तो कोई फायदा नहीं. तो वो कभी कभी आएगा या तो एसेट क्रिएट करके जाएगा या तो लाइबिलिटी को कम करके जाएगा. वो कुछ तो करके जरूर जाएगा. ठीक है? एक और काम करके जाएगा. इट एडप्ट्स टू द स्टॉक ऑफ द इकोनॉमी एंड इंक्रीज द प्रोडक्टिविटी. ये जो इकोनॉमी का स्टॉक है तो उसमें बढ़ोतरी कर देगा प्लस प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ा देगा. This is for an example, let's take a hypothetical example that the government is constructing schools and buildings around your locality. ठीक है? The schools and buildings are of government and it is a capital expenditure because it is creating an asset, right? It is creating an asset. अब लोन की बात कर लेते हैं. बोला लाइबिलिटी की रीपेमेंट भी कर देता है, रिड्यूस भी कर देता है. How in the sense like if you have taken loan from someone, ठीक है, and you are now repaying it, so it means what? That you are reducing a liability. So in that particular case, this kind of expenditure, the repayment of loan will be considered as capital expenditure, right? Perfect. So till of now, do you have any doubt? Are you facing any query? Are you facing any confusion between the both receipts and that expenditure one, revenue or capital one? If you are facing any kind of confusion, query, anything, you can drop down in the comment section right away. Don't hesitate to share. Okay. Now come to the next thing, that is plan and non-plan expenditure. As the name suggests, plan means you have planned about it. You have a proper schedule and itinerary about it. You are just prepared for it. You know it priorly. But non-plan means it happened on the spot. It is not planned. It is just due to the uncertainty. It is just due to the change in the environment. So this is non-plan. So let's talk about the first plan expenditure. It means that kind of expenditure that is mentioned in the current 5-year plan. Like if any of the expenditure that has been mentioned in the current 5-year plan and has been incurred, it will consider as planned expenditure. On the other hand, if there is any expenditure which is not planned, which is neither written in the current 5-year plan or in any other scheme, so it means that it is non-planned expenditure. So if I'll take an example of planned expenditure, it means then like expenditure on agriculture, expenditure on allied activities, expenditure on irrigation, and etc. etc. But if I'll talk about the non-planned expenditure, if I talk about the examples of it, we will not get an example because it is on the spot expenditure. Like in the COVID times, in the pandemic time period, at that time also there was certain expenditure that has been incurred which was not planned, right? So that will also consider as a non-planned expenditure. Now comes the developmental expenditure and the non-development. As the name suggests itself, development means that kind of expenditure that is being a part of the economic development, being a part of the economic functioning of the government. ठीक है, etc etc. So developmental या development expenditure, those kind of expenditure which means that you are spending your money on the development, on the construction, either on the economy development. Okay. So if I talk about the next, that is the non-developmental expenditure, it means that kind of amount that is incurred on the essential services. That is not development, but it is very, very important, very, very essential. That's why it is named as non-development expenditure. It directly contributes to economic development, but it directly helps the development in the economy. Okay? And such kind of expenditure is essential from this administrative fee also. कि एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव व्यू मतलब होता है कि मेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के भी ये नजर में आते हैं नॉन डेवलपमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर. So till of now in this particular video, do you face any query, any doubt, any question till of now? Is it clear the development and non-development plan and non-plan and the components of budget and the expenditure one? If everything is clear to you, if there is anything you want to ask, you can drop down in the comment section right away. We will try to answer as many questions as we can. So thank you so much for this video. This is all about this only. And we will meet you in the next video with the next topic of this particular unit. And then in the next video, we will be winding up this particular unit as well. So till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.